Welcome to Cottondale Cemetery, y'all. Cottondale 1885. What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the channel. My name is Nick. I'm your host. Today we're in Cottondale, Texas. And it is out in the boonies, let me tell you. I'm from Dallas. It took me a little over an hour to get here on this cold Texas morning. As you can tell, we're bundled up today. But I wanted to come and check out a grave that I've been meaning to see for the past couple of years since I moved to Texas. Here in Cottondale Cemetery. Let's see who we're going to go meet today. So as you can see, it's pretty old cemetery, 1885. Got cows in the background. But why we're here today is the Prohibition era gangster, the one and only Machine Gun Kelly. During the Prohibition era, organized crime increased. Big name gangsters like Al Capone, of course, ruled the streets, while public enemies such as Bonnie and Clyde swept across the country. One of the most infamous criminals of this time was George Francis Barnes Jr., also known as George B. Machine Gun Kelly. And we'll talk a little bit about, I'm not going to read all this, but we'll talk a little bit about it. It does say something about his wife down here too. She also robbed banks with them for years, but we'll get into all that. And as you can see, say good morning to the cows over there. Oh, looks like it's me and the cows in the cemetery this morning. All right, this is a little chapel right here. It's kind of cool, pretty old. It said 1919 on the front. Let's see if we can get in this thing. That wasn't too bad, we made it in. All right, just this is in no way a documentary, but just kind of give you the, top facts, a little background of Machine Gun Kelly. Most have heard of him. I'm sure just like most of you have heard of Bonnie and Clyde, Al Capone, obviously. I would put him right in the same group of people. So obviously, his real name's not Machine Gun Kelly. We already learned that. He was born in Memphis, Tennessee, believe it or not. He was born in 1900, died in 1954. He died in the U.S. Penitentiary in Leavenworth, Kansas. Obviously known for kidnapping, bank robbing, and bootlegging, which is, very common in that time. I think, side note, I think I read he was number 11. This is 5A. So, hope y'all can hear me. It's very windy and cold out here today. Should have brought gloves. And there's cows fighting over there. I've never seen that before. Anyway, he got his name from the famous weapon, a Thompson machine gun, hence Machine Gun Kelly. Now, it reminds me of the Bonnie and Clyde story, but just like Bonnie and Clyde, Machine Gun Kelly's wife, Catherine Kelly, was also in his gang. She was arrested. What I will do is there's some old court footage on YouTube of when they were arrested and taken out of court. I'll have to throw that in a little later in the video. But yeah, she was arrested. I think later on she was freed and died as an old woman. But supposedly, and I guess we'll get into this a little bit too, but supposedly Machine Gun Kelly wasn't the big tough guy that they made him out to be. His wife really, the wife in the media kind of marketed him up a little bit to make him seem like a big tough guy, when in reality I read that he was actually afraid of the Tommy gun. So,
Memphis, Tennessee, 1933, and federal agents capture Machine Gun Kelly. Seized with Kelly is his wife, Catherine, and arrangements are made to move both to Oklahoma City for trial. Kelly, wanted for murder in 3 cities, high on the list of public enemies, and suspected leader of the kidnap gang which held oil millionaire Charles Urschel for $200,000 ransom, is to face a jail sentence with 7 others. At the Oklahoma City courthouse, the mother and stepfather of Kelly's wife, along with 5 others, are about to be tried under the so-called Lindbergh federal law. This is Charles Urschel, the kidnapped victim, who sees his captors in court.
R.G. Shannon.
Newsreel cameras and recorders are allowed for the first time at a federal trial as Judge Fort proceeds to impose penalties on the defendants. All of them are found guilty and sentenced to life imprisonment.
Now, just as Machine Gun Kelly was born in Memphis, Tennessee, he would be arrested in Memphis, Tennessee, I think September 26, 1933. Him and his wife, Catherine, both arrested, and he was sentenced to life in prison. Now, as we make our way down, I wanted to add his most famous crime was kidnapping of oil tycoon Charles F. Urschel in 1933, from which he and his gang collected a $200,000 ransom, which, crazy, is equivalent to $4.71 million today. And just look at that. Row number 11. Whoa, and he's got a new headstone. I've seen some older photos where this was like in the grounds, and it was like it was barely legible. Somebody left flowers here, but here he is. Holy cow. The one and only George Barnes Kelly, aka Machine Gun Kelly, July 18th, 1900 to July 17th, 1954. Look at that, the year Elvis Presley got started. Side note, 1954 is when Machine Gun Kelly passed away in Leavenworth, Kansas from a heart attack. Now, when I come out here and see famous graves like this, it doesn't matter to me if they were a good person in life, a bad person in life. If I find them interesting, you know, I'll come out and see it. And it amazes me that, like, obviously, and I say this in a lot of my videos, funny enough, I just found there's a little bullet on his headstone. You're probably not going to be able to see that, but anyway. I always say in any of these gravesite videos I do that, like, he was way before my time. I would have never met him, nor would I have wanted to. If I would have saw him back then, I probably would have ran the other way for obvious reasons. But I'm literally like 6 feet above the famous Machine Gun Kelly gangster. I know I'm not glorifying him in any way. I know he was a bad person. But I'm a huge fan of history, even especially dark history. He's right in that realm, and I find it interesting to be here and see his grave today. So what I also find interesting is I've been to Alcatraz prison in San Francisco, and I want to talk a little bit about that, but I'm also going to, I remember seeing photos in Alcatraz of Al Capone was there. Machine Gun Kelly served a period of time there. But I want to talk a little bit about that, and then I'm actually going to throw in the video, old clips I have of us touring Alcatraz where you could see the Machine Gun Kelly photos. These rooms are a lot bigger. Wow. So in the D block, these are the isolation rooms. So these prisoners, I mean, the rooms are bigger than the other cells we saw, but these guys would be in here 24/7. And we found out they would be allowed out 1 hour per week to shower and whatever else they could within that hour, but 24/7 in here would not be allowed out. It's just crazy.
Excuse us, sorry.
Guards would come in here, put the food in, and they would get it right in there. Wow. All right, so like I said, I want to talk a little bit about his time in Alcatraz. So total, Machine Gun Kelly spent his remaining 21 years in prison. During his time at Alcatraz, he got the nickname Pop Gun Kelly. According to fellow inmates, the nickname originated because he told big fish stories. The guys didn't take him seriously. This may have stemmed from the fact that in addition to his exaggerated tall tales, Kelly was a model prisoner and did not act like the brutal gangster his wife, the media, and the FBI had made him out to be, like I said earlier. Continuing to boast and exaggerate his past escapades to other inmates, and was quietly transferred back to Leavenworth in 1951. Like I said, he died of a heart attack in Leavenworth on July 17th, 1954, the day before, I didn't know that, the day before his 54th birthday, and is buried here, obviously, in Cottondale, Texas Cemetery. Now, what is interesting too, I've read online and I've actually seen other videos of people here, and supposedly Machine Gun Kelly obviously did not die here in Texas. He died in Kansas. He's not even from Texas. But his body was moved here, kind of in the middle of nowhere, Cottondale, Texas, like west central Texas, to Catherine Kelly, his wife's stepfather's family plot. So his wife's stepfather's family plot, if that makes sense. And what's interesting is I don't really see any other Kellys. Supposedly that's what happened and that's why he's here, but I don't see any other, unless they're just unmarked graves. So actually, let's take a look at something here. So maybe these are it right there. Unmarked graves, maybe. I don't know. They could be, because yeah, I don't see them. If you look around, I don't see anything else like that. And if we look here, like Hebison died 1990, 2007, Drennan 99 to 2016. Maybe this, yeah, you can see now. You see, like, this must have been the family plot. So I'm sure her stepfather's family is actually buried here. It would make sense, because I don't see anything like this around anywhere else in this cemetery. So that would make sense why, if they're all right here, he's up here. Machine Gun Kelly. And man, I was not kidding when I said this Cottondale, Texas is kind of out in the middle of, it's in the boonies, out in the middle of nowhere. It's such a small town. The closest thing there's a grocery store down the street, and there's a Love's gas station maybe like 20 minutes back. But yeah, we're just out in the open farm fields, freezing our butts off with all the cows out here. All right, if you ever make your way out here and want to find where Machine Gun Kelly is, it's so easy. As you can see, it's such a small cemetery. So come there, I park there. There's the entrance, walk straight down this way. Aisle 11, and he is literally the first one here. I came across a couple of these really old ones. I just love old headstones like this, like Mary E. 1861, died 1890. This one too, wow. Looks like died 1890 as well. You know, this is in like the heart of Texas too. I would not be surprised if there's some Confederate soldiers from the Civil War that are buried in here. Actually, I've been to another cemetery where Davy Crockett's wife is buried in Texas, and there was a couple Confederate soldiers there. Here's another one, 1889. Cool stuff. Well, folks, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Like I said, we've been to Alcatraz prison. If you're interested in that, I will put the Alcatraz video, it should be popping up right now if you want to see that. Go check it out. We had such a great time there, and next time we go back to San Francisco, I said I want to go back. It is such a cool thing, like I said. Al Capone was there. Machine Gun Kelly was there for a little while. And if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. It helps out more than you know. And I will see you all soon on the Travel Channel. Take care.